Big win, Ireland. You heard Amere's episode. I was not here. I also didn't catch much of the game. I had a nice old club soccer game, but I did get a good recap of the game afterwards. But, it's the Steelers bye week. Not a lot to talk about. But, how we doing, Amere? How you feeling today?
I'm doing all right. I'm actually feeling good going into a bye week for once for the Steelers, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, number one in the division. I didn't predict that.
Me neither.
Baltimore's been looking a little rough.
Yeah,
everyone else in the division's a little rough. So
speaking of Baltimore, I got a whole bunch of friends who are Ravens fans, and they're already calling for Harbaugh's head. I'm like, dude, it's the 5th week of the season.
Yeah,
they think they have it bad. Well, actually, no. I think Harbaugh may be worse than Tomlin when it comes to just decision making.
Yeah, it's close.
It ain't close. I feel like there's been 3 years in a row where I saw Mark Andrews drop a football to win a game or in some clutch moment.
Yeah, when they go for two to try and win the whole thing.
And they just
I do
lose.
remember those. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably a little worse than here.
No, I mean,
but who cares? It's the Ravens. So.
I mean, looking at the division, it's interesting because
the Ravens got a pretty hard schedule for the next 2 weeks too, and Lamar's out. So
yeah, they got Cooper Rush.
Yep, it's looking nice over there.
We're coming back. We got divisional little slate here, and then that's where it gets interesting after.
Mm-hmm. And with that Steelers win, I don't know how much you talked about it in your episode, but the big line, that extra tackle, and then you bring out Darnell.
Hey, and Spencer Anderson. Him and Spencer Anderson went out. I looked at a chart, and I believe Darnell Washington had almost 20 more snaps than Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth. So that's been interesting.
So it says Steelers when Darnell Washington plays over 40 snaps in a game. 6-0, average 125 yards rushing, 7 rush touchdowns. Outscore opponents 149 to 110.
I think we found our
secret
weapon.
The Ravens.
We found our secret weapon. Do you know?
Yeah, and that kind of.
I feel like that should have been happening.
That may parlay its way into some trade talks later.
Yeah.
But no, if you want to run the ball, you got to get big.
Once again, why are you hinting at my hot every single week, man? You hint at something, I'm gonna take it a hot take. I mean, I don't hate it, but dang.
Let's hope I don't fully steal your thunder. But on the defense. I don't even think the game was that close. Tomlin kicked it in. Yeah. Tomlin kicked it into relax mode and was like, all right, let's coast and finish it out with a dub.
I mean, on paper, team looked good despite giving up 350 yards to Carson Wentz. But to be fair, there was some busted coverages there, which shouldn't have happened. But hey,
towards the end of the game,
Peyton Wilson had what?
22 miles an hour or something
22 miles an hour.
Yeah,
now that's a fast linebacker.
When he's not making the wrong decisions, he's pretty fast.
I agree. No, see, I think he'll be fine, though. I think he'll level out. But also, I liked what they did with Holcomb and Peyton Wilson. They kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but they'll use, I think, Peyton Wilson on more of the passing downs and then Holcomb on more of the running downs. So I think that's also a little kind of cool thing to split their reps. But I'd rather
play into their strengths instead of playing to their weaknesses.
Yep, which should have been happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's usually what goes down.
And from what I saw, I honestly think the Steelers were out coaching the Vikings coaching staff until the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Obviously, that fourth quarter was just a little bit ridiculous. The whole debacle on whether they should have went for it, kicked the field goal. I think they could have went. They should have went for it, but not that play call. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want to just run
that
it.
4th and inches.
Exactly. Don't run the ball there.
Get Darnell in for the.
Thank you. You have
push man or something.
I love Aaron Rodgers.
He was his aura fireman back there. Yeah, I was listening to the game on the radio, so I hear the first drive. I was like, "Oh, wonderful sack!" And then what is it, 2 incompletions? And then I hear that nice strip fumble return for a touchdown. And they're like, "Oh, wait, actually,
that play was so unlucky.
He touched the ball when he was out of bounds." I was like, "Man, what the hell?" But no, then they after that they scored 3 points, and it was 3 points for pretty much the rest of the game until the fourth quarter. So
Carson Wentz, I thought he was going to leave the game in a wheelchair. He was getting rocked.
Yeah, he's getting a bunch of sacks in there. Not Derek Harmon. Keanu Benton.
Nick Herbig,
Keanu Benton. That could.
Hey, that's
some foreshadowing talking about Nick Herbig there.
Hey, I think we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm fully on it, but it's definitely worth mentioning. But from that game, we got a couple injuries. Calvin Austin, originally reported to be quote-unquote severe. He'll be back like a week or two after the bye week, something like that. It won't be too bad.
Well, they said he left the stadium in an ambulance. So I was like, oh, crap. Is it like a – he did leave the stadium in an ambulance. But I was like, oh, my God. Did he, like break his, like, freaking –
Did he Tyreek his shoulder, you know?
Dude, Tyreek injury was gnarly.
Yeah. Ramsey has the hamstring. He'll probably be fine after the bye week.
Such an idiot. He did that to himself when he faked the hammy injury.
Yeah.
He faked that hammy injury, and look, he got a hammy injury.
We could be seeing Highsmith back after the bye week or week after that. And then Warren, man, what the hell?
I woke up thinking he was going to play. I'm like, all right. But, you know what? It's probably that, long flight to Ireland. He didn't feel good. I'm like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
Rather rest him.
Let's say we were juicing up Warren the whole episode, and then dude didn't even play. Well, granted, Gainwell.
He did what we said.
Gainwell showed up. Yeah.
Caleb Johnson got himself some reps in there. I mean, it was cool to see him at least get the ball a little bit. He kind of was forced to.
What I think is interesting is Johnson gets more reps than Roman Wilson, and Johnson had that freaking ginormous brain fart.
Roman Wilson had the greatest play of that game, recovering the onside kick.
Dude's a special team. Dude's a glorified special teamer.
No, that's Connor Hayward.
They're honestly on the same page at this point. And one looks like and one was a third round pick. So yeah, it's rough out there. But no, Gainwell looked pretty good. People that say that he should be the starter now, I think you should.
I don't know.
Stop consuming alcohol. Warren looks way more explosive out there. Yeah. I think he has better vision. Imagine if you have that game with Warren in.
Oh, my God.
What's going to happen? You know what I mean?
No, and they're both effective. I feel like they're both effective in the passing game as well. And the thing is, I mean, Gainwell was overshadowed by Saquon, so of course he's not going to show, all like what he all had. So I think it's cool to have two, like, I'd say dynamic running backs. I feel like we have some real interesting things we could do with those two guys.
Yeah. We will see. I want to see some more Caleb Johnson, too. I want to see him get going. I think they got 3 running backs that are definitely useful. Warren's definitely the best, but I'm curious with, how we're going to use that rookie. Because he's not on kickoff anymore. So, unless they put him back.
God. If they put him back, then Danny Smith maybe.
I hope he'd never make that mistake again,
Well, I heard of a clip. Danny Smith was talking about the play, and he was like, yeah, I didn't talk to him. Connor Hayward talked to him. I guess Connor Hayward was yelling, we do this all the time in practice. So it was probably just a mental lapse, but I'm sure Danny Smith chewed into him in that film session.
Yeah. We'll see what entails from that in the future because they can't keep bringing Trey Sermon up from the practice squad.
Yeah, it's goofy.
For that. Well, you can only bring him up so many times.
Yep.
So, but I think and we got Joey Porter Jr. That dude has not played in like 3 weeks. It's been a minute.
I mean, that secondary is taking hits, but they're still holding things down.
Pierre almost had that pick.
Yeah, I like Eccles though.
Eccles is good.
I like him. He's a little scrappy. I like him.
Gremlin out there.
Oh, Thornhill had some nice play. I think everybody on the defense had some sort of play. T.J. Watt finally decided to wake up again. I was so happy to see that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So honestly, they play the Browns coming off the bye week. I'm pretty sure, right?
Dylan Gabriel.
Don't listen to Big Ben. Big Ben said it's a second bye week.
I saw that.
That's how you lose the game.
I saw that. It reminds me of when Juju said the Browns are the Browns.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd love to see the Steelers lose now because Big Ben's saying that stuff and people are listening to it.
Nah, bro. Big Ben.
Why do you think the Steelers lost some of those games like that when Big Ben was the quarterback?
Because they treated it like that.
Yep. Hopefully that's gone.
Big Ben still owns them though.
Unless it's that wild card game.
Oh, we got that.
Remember that wild card game where he threw like 5 picks or whatever?
Why would you do
it was like 28-0
Why would you bring that back? Marquise Pouncey ruined my night.
Yep, it's unfortunate. But taking a look at the Steelers' upcoming schedule, we'll go game by game, and we'll decide on their wins here. So after the bye, the Steelers have the Browns, win,
W,
4-1. Then they have the Bengals,
W,
win, 4-1. Packers,
I got an L here.
Sorry, I meant to say 5-1 last time. Yeah, I got 5-2 as well. Colts, Steelers,
another L.
I'm gonna disagree.
All right.
I'm gonna say 6-2. You're at 5-3.
5-3.
Steelers, Chargers,
W.
I'm gonna say loss.
Interesting.
So we're at the same record right now. What, 6-3?
6-3.
So we got Bengals, Steelers. That's a win. 7-3. Steelers, Bears. I'm gonna go win. Steelers haven't beat the Bears since like 1990 or something like that. I think
they've got.
I think it's due. So what are we at now?
The Bill, huge L. We're
at 8-3. Now we're at 8-4 against the Bills. That's a loss. I think this is at Baltimore, so I'm gonna say.
Yeah, that's gonna be a loss.
I'm gonna say 8-5 now.
8-5.
Win against the Dolphins. 9-5.
I agree.
Lions.
L. I think that. I feel. Look,
you think you're gonna win?
I feel like there could be a win there, because it could be one of the.
I see them finishing off with 11 wins and winning the division still.
I could see it. Beating the Browns, probably beating the
Ravens. I do think that Chargers game will be close, though. I have them winning that. I think Chargers and Colts. Here's what I'm going to say is definite losses. I'm going to say Bills, Packers, and Lions, and the rest I think are toss-ups, in my opinion.
I feel like just how the way things are going with the team and with the other teams that we're playing in the last end of the season, I feel like we have a chance, but
yeah.
At the same time, I didn't expect.
Look at the Packers, what they're doing right now. Last 2 weeks they put up
stinkers,
honestly, clinkers.
They almost lost to the Browns.
They did lose to the Browns. They tied the Cowboys.
Oh my God,
they're 2-1-1 or something right now.
Yeah, that's awful.
Yeah,
I still think that's a game they lose though. It's tough.
Yeah, one thing I'll say is. Actually, it's a Aaron Rodgers, revenge game.
Oh,
so maybe they have a little bit of edge
hold
on
up.
That game.
Hey, this team.
I think they've made improvement. I'm seeing improvement. So if they can keep riding that horse, this bye week, I was hating on it earlier in the year, but now that's with how many injuries happen on this defense, I'm not particularly opposed to it right now. Just hopefully we can get our guys back and actually keep them healthy.
I'm going to look at the remaining strength of schedules because I feel like we have a pretty...
It's kind of hard.
Except
for the divisional games. It's semi-difficult.
So I think we have the 15th easiest schedule. So we're dead set in the middle. So it says our toughest opponents are going to be... interesting. That's not interesting. The Bills, Chargers, and Lions. That's top 3 right there. Then obviously it said the easiest opponents, the Browns twice, and the Ravens twice. I feel like there's going to be a split in the division no matter what with a game. It's like that every single year, but I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah. So I see them. I think they'll win at least 10 games. I'll say that's what I'll mark it as.
This team. They do this every year, though. I feel like the way they're going now, they can win a lot more games than we projected, Like you said, the 10-11 win range, but you never know. There's just a lot of stuff that, goes into it. Making sure we don't fall off again like last year.
But with that, improvements to the roster may be necessary.
I agree.
We're looking at these trade things going on. Calvin Austin's injured. What's going on? Who could the Steelers ship off to potentially get a receiver?
Do I say this one?
You're going to save it for later.
I would say the one for later, but...
All right. Well, here's what I was thinking. I might be stealing. Freiermuth looks expendable. Highsmith looks expendable. That's all I got.
Yeah, I had both those guys too.
I look expendable.
I think Freiermuth is probably my number one.
I wouldn't trade either of them unless you can get Chris Olave.
Honestly,
if you think about Chris Olave, Saints 0-4. They get the rat boy at quarterback. Yep. It looks like they're about ready for a reset.
Hey, they got Jawan Johnson.
That's like their best player. Dude, he's a tight end.
Actually been going crazy this year. Fantasy tight end, by the way.
But no, I wouldn't ship either of those guys off unless it was for Chris Olave.
Yeah. Honestly, I was also looking at Curtis Samuel. The Bills have not played that guy at all.
I don't think he's what this team needs. I think Chris Olave's
definite. I feel like they just need a number two, like solid number two. We've been saying.
Well, here's the thing: is like Olave. If DK gets, if DK gets injured, he won't. Knock on wood.
Oh wait,
Olave could slip in as the number one guy.
He's on his 5th-year option too.
Yeah, exactly.
So he would really won't be worth that.
Basically, you might be able to ship off like a third or a fourth for him, maybe something like that. Or if you do trade Highsmith or Freiermuth, you might get Olave and a fourth or something like that because they're on long-term deals.
I was looking at a few articles earlier, and another one said Jacoby Myers as well, which I think would also be a little bit interesting. But I'm not too high on that guy.
Me neither. You'd love to give picks and keep your roster.
Yeah, he's not the. Well, he requested a trade. I do know that. So
he's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, they're probably gonna ask for an arm and leg.
We'll see. I don't.
Oh wait.
If something's gonna go down, it's probably gonna be during this bye week, so they can get them. I don't know.
Wait, hold up. What is this guy up to? I gotta type
up with the basics with the playbook and all that to try and get them on the field as soon as they can.
What is Mr. Alan Lazard doing nowadays?
I don't want that dude, bro. I'd rather run with Ben Skoranek out there.
Nah, bro, that's Aaron Rodgers'
dude wants Alan Lizard, man. And I guess Romeo Dobbs has been one of the better Packers receivers this year, so they're not getting.
Everyone's just saying that because the Rodgers connection. That's really it.
Yeah.
That's insane.
We got our one question here. Will the Steelers actually win the division? What do you think, Amere?
Yeah. At this point, I think they will. It's looking like the Bengals are going to be without Burrow for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what's up with Lamar? That team's looking really bad.
Yeah.
The Browns. Yeah, they have a lot of uncertainty with the QB room.
With how it's shaping out, and Lamar's out 2 to 3 weeks. They play the Rams. They have a bye week this week, but they have the Rams, then the Bears. And I think if you got Cooper Rush slinging it back there.
No, they play the Texans.
What am I looking at? My bad. Yep, they play the Texans. Anyways, Ravens' defense looked horrible, so the Texans' offense looked bad as well.
Bro, that's what happens when you drop Marlon Humphrey out there.
But no, they could. I think they'll definitely lose to the Rams. Texans, I think it'll be a close one. Bears, I could definitely see them losing that, but that's after a bye week. So they got 2 games here. Texans, Rams. People are assuming those as definite losses. 1-5. Imagine digging yourself out of that hole with the Ravens.
Yeah, that's rough. If they do that, they're going to end up probably being 10-7 or something like that.
Here's what I'll say is odds say the Steelers probably we'll give them an 80% chance to win the division. Maybe a 70.
I'll probably say 75.
75.
Once again, you saw the skid last year.
Yeah, I think they will, but who knows? I definitely think they should be. They're in pole position.
They are, and once again, they're in control. They're in destiny. They need to win the games. They need to win.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, Tomlin needs to not coach as conservative as he does. So
yeah, he needs to figure it out.
Yeah, but if he needs to figure out, this is the year to figure it out. Because Rodgers, he's looking like he's the guy. Well, he is the guy. He's reinforcing it, in my opinion.
Rodgers out here is talking about, I hear quotes of next year.
I'm not going to lie. I like him, but not that much.
I'd have to see how the season ends.
Yeah.
Because honestly.
That's a fair assessment of that.
Because... You know what? You know what we're going to do? You know what I'll do? I'll do a mock draft. A super early mock draft for an episode this week.
Way too early mock draft?
Yeah. Because I just saw a mock draft where the Steelers took Trinidad Chandlis at 27, and I was
no
like,
way.
that is fire.
Hold on.
That dude's been lighting it up.
Wait a second.
But no, Trinidad Chandlis, he's cooking at Ole Miss. But if you got him,
Browns drafting another bro.
If you got him and he can sit behind Rodgers for a year, that wouldn't be too bad.
Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana, Pittsburgh Steelers. No, heck no.
I could see them getting like John Mateer.
Nah, bro. Yo, actually, speaking of quarterbacks,
you want Drew Aller?
I might walk out of this room, dude. Drew Aller is so bad.
I like Sawyer Robinson out of Baylor. He's been cooking it up. He leads the CFB in passing yards, I think.
Really?
I believe so. But my dude, Trinidad Chandlis.
Nah, you gotta get Lenora Sellers, bro.
He's not too bad. I don't think he's gonna be there where the Steelers are picking.
He's gonna be probably number one.
Yeah, it's gonna be between like Sellers, Mendoza.
I can't wait.
Mateer.
I can't wait for draft season, low-key.
And it's in Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
We got to blow up to get media passes so we can actually go.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure you could just apply for a media pass.
For real?
Yeah. It's trust me, it's not that bad. I hand out credentials for the Penguins. It's
free.
There's a whole bunch of randos in there, too. And then, obviously, like the established reporters.
Yeah. Hot takes, Amere. We kind of spoiled his a little bit.
It's okay.
You can further divulge upon your
I'm
hot take.
Elaborate.
You can talk about it a little bit more.
So I feel like that the Steelers should move on for Freiermuth if the price is right, which I think will open up the window for Darnell Washington to kind of have a breakout season. Everyone's been talking about his size and all those intangibles, but I feel like if this team wants to be successful in the long run, you need to have a weapon. And I feel like Darnell Washington is that weapon they use. So I think that if there's a trade, have Freiermuth out. He just got paid. He'll probably bring in some value. And then, hey, you have Jonnu Smith. So he's a nice little reliable guy there as well. So that's kind of where I was going with that whole Freiermuth thing.
And what I think is, with how this team has been trending, they've been trending upwards. They're going to keep building, and they're actually going to look like actual contenders in the playoffs. They look like one of those teams.
And you know why?
That can actually win a playoff game.
You know why?
Why is that?
Aaron Rodgers. I think Aaron Rodgers is that difference maker. You surrounded him with pieces that he can work with. And
he's a smart quarterback.
Oh, exactly.
Steelers haven't had smart quarterback play since Big Ben, and sometimes he had some lapses of judgment.
Especially later in his career.
Yeah, you got Russell Wilson out there just hucking moon balls.
Oh, there's a reason why he's not starting in New York.
Mm-hmm. Unsustainable football.
And he fumbles, instead of just sliding.
I was going to say, a big thing with the Steelers, people are talking about is, they don't throw deep. What would you rather have, dink and dunk down the field, or you go 3 and out because your quarterback's chucking nukes up and no one catches it?
What I talked about in the podcast, I talked about Aaron Rodgers' passing chart. Mm-hmm. He went 4 for 4 using the middle of the field from the line of scrimmage to the 20-yard line with 1 touchdown. So he doesn't need to throw the ball 40 times a game. If the running game can get going, you can have that balanced passing attack.
Yeah.
So I feel like he's also being kind of that big difference maker there.
Yeah, he's playing smart football. Let's hope we can keep it smart, but I think what it's going to come down to is how aggressive is the play calling via Mike Tomlin, those 4th and inches, keep those drives going.
I mean, nowadays teams are going for it on 4th down a lot more. Yeah. I don't know if you noticed that, but I've noticed that a lot this year. I mean, Steelers got carved a few times on 4th down
I think
against the Patriots.
As this O-line actually accumulates experience and they actually work together better and they can actually get a push, I think this team will be more confident in their short yardage, 4th downs and 3rd down stuff.
Broderick did not look bad.
Oh,
he didn't look bad. He looked like an actual tackle. And another guy, Siamalu, had some nice blocks out
I heard
there.
Siamalu's been playing pretty good. They just need to all put it together.
And I think it's trending that way.
Hopefully.
Barring, anything drastic.
I'd surely hope so. But that is going to wrap it up here. I think I'm going to come out with an early mock draft. Maybe not, because I don't know too much about our college guys. But if there's an episode later, it'll be mock draft. But that's it.
See ya.
We will see ya.